Hey, how's it going everyone? MLT Magic Tricks here. So in this video, I'm going to be performing and then teaching you 3 different card tricks that are really awesome and can be performed all together in one routine. But before we get into it, if you are new here to the channel, make sure you subscribe with those notifications on. And if you enjoy what you see in today's video, make sure you hit that like button. And now let's get right into the first card trick. Okay, so this first card trick involves this plastic bag. We will get to that a little bit later, but to start, I would have my spectator give the deck a shuffle. Once they are done, I would have them choose a card. They have a completely free selection, so let's say my spectator chooses this card right here. I would just show my spectator the card for this trick. I do not want to see it, so I'm just going to be showing you guys here. Once my spectator has memorized their card, I'll tell them, all right, we're going to go ahead and first lose your card into the middle of the deck. I'll give the pack a quick riffle shuffle. I will also give the cards some overhand shuffles as well. At this point, with the spectator's card lost in the middle of the deck, I'm going to need some help in finding the card, and that is where our plastic bag comes into play here. So what I'm going to do is set the deck directly on top of the bag and just spread out all of the cards right on the back of the plastic bag, just spreading out all of the cards here, making a big mess, and I'm going to see if the bag can help me find the spectator's card. So all I'm going to do is lift up on the bag just like this, and you will notice it appears there is one card magically right here inside of the plastic bag, and this card is none other than the spectator selection, the 6 of diamonds. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that trick. This one is really easy to perform. All you're going to need is a deck of cards, a plastic bag, and some double-sided tape or a glue stick. The preparation is quite simple. You're going to take a small strip of your double-sided tape and place it on the bottom of the bag on the back side, just like this. So I have my strip of double-sided tape right there. And if you have a glue stick, you're just going to apply a little bit of glue on the same spot. Now, once you do that, you're good to go. You can just place the bag off to the side to start when you go up to your spectator, and then you can begin with them giving the deck a mix-up because there's absolutely no setup to the deck of cards. Now, they are going to choose a card. They have a completely free choice. Once they take out their card, I recommend you just have them look at it. You do not need to see it. It makes for a better effect if you don't look at it. But for the tutorial, we'll both look at it together. In this case, we have the 4 of clubs. Now, you can have your spectator sign the card if you want. It's up to you. You do not need to have them sign it. So once they have memorized it, you're going to need to control their card to the bottom of the deck. Now, there are a variety of ways you can do this. One way is you place the card in the deck. You push down and then inwards with your thumb, getting this natural thumb break, and then you perform a double undercut to get their card first to the top of the deck, and then to get it to the bottom, you just do this overhand shuffle move. You slide off the card like that, and then overhand shuffle the rest of the cards on top. That's a way to get their card to the bottom, and another way is if their card is on top, you come over, get a break below it with your thumb, and then you do another double undercut to get their card right to the bottom. I'll leave a link on the screen right now to me giving a tutorial for some card controls if you want to have a more in-depth tutorial on that. But with their card on the bottom, you need to keep it there. You can give the deck a quick riffle shuffle, keeping their card there on the bottom. At this point, you explain to your spectator their selection is lost in the deck and you're going to need some help in finding it, and that is where the plastic bag comes into play. So you're going to bring the plastic bag over. You can just place it down. You can even have them, look inside it like that and see there's absolutely nothing, tricky going on. But in reality, you have the little setup on the back. Make sure they don't, feel it or anything like that. So at this point, you're going to place the plastic bag right on the table. You're going to place the deck directly on top of it, and you need to place the cards right on top of the glue or double-sided tape because their card is going to stick right to the back of the bag. So you're going to place the deck right here, and then you're going to push down and then just kind of spread out the cards like this. You can just kind of turn them in this twisting motion, spread them out over the bag. You're just allowing their selection, which is on the bottom of the deck, to stick to the bag. And then at this point, with all the cards spread out, you're going to tell your spectator, okay, all I'm going to do on the count of 3 is lift up the bag. You can do something like that. Once you pull up the bag really quickly like that, you will see their selection sticks to the back of the bag. And when your spectator is in front of you, it truly looks like the card is actually inside of the bag, resting on the bottom. So that is the illusion for this trick. And now you're going to need to make it seem like you're taking their card out of the bag. So a way you can do this is after you have lifted it up, it's going to look like it's resting on the bottom of the bag to your spectator. You're going to come over with your other hand, keep the card propped up to the back of the bag. And then you're going to open the bag with your other hand, reach in with your 4 fingers that are going inside of the bag, and your thumb is going right here on the back. It's going to be taking the card off of the double-sided tape or the glue. And if you do it quickly like this is in slow motion. Even slow motion, it looks like to your spectator who's going to be in front of you that you are actually taking the card out of the bag, and then they can examine the card completely. They can look inside the bag and see that there's nothing funny going on, except you have that, the little double-sided tape or glue on the back. Make sure they don't feel that. And it really looks cool to your spectator. It looks completely impossible. This trick is really easy to do. Just make sure you practice it a couple times and get comfortable with taking their card off of the glue or double-sided tape that's on the back of the bag, at the end of the trick there. So that is the first trick. Let's get into the second one. Okay, so I would start off this trick with my spectator giving the deck a shuffle. Once they are done, I would have them choose a card. They can just call stop anywhere as I dribble off cards from the deck into my hand. Let's say they call stop right here. In this case, their selection will be the Jack of Diamonds. Now we are going to get this card lost into the middle of the deck. Let's give the cards some cuts, and I will give the pack a quick riffle shuffle as well. So I'm going to need some help in locating that Jack of Diamonds, and my spectator is going to choose 2 helper cards from the deck. So let's say they choose this one and this one. Now I could have my spectator go ahead and turn over the helper cards that they chose for me. So in this case, we have the 9 of Diamonds and the 3 of Diamonds. We are just going to place these cards right here on top of the deck. Once again, the 3 of Diamonds and the 9 of Diamonds are going to be the helper cards. All I have to do is wave my hand over the deck, give the cards a little shake, and you will notice there is now 1 card right in between the 2 helper cards, and it is none other than our spectator selection, the Jack of Diamonds. So guys, that is the trick. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's learn how to do it. All right, so this one is quite easy to perform. You're going to begin with a shuffled deck. You can have your spectator give the cards a mix-up, and then they're going to choose a card. Once they take out their selection, just have them look at it. You do not need to see it. For the tutorial, we'll get it together. In this case, we got the Ace of Clubs. All you need to do is control their card to the top of the deck. You can do your double undercut here to get their selection right on the top, and you just need to maintain the card here on top so you can give the deck a riffle shuffle, finishing with the hand that has their selection on top. So with control of their selection right here, you're going to tell your spectator that you're going to need some help in finding the card because they think it is lost in the deck. So your spectator is going to choose 2 helper cards for you. Just place your thumb directly on top of their card so they cannot choose it as they are taking out the 2 helper cards. So just make them choose 2 cards from the middle of the deck. While they are turning these cards over, all you need to do is get a pinky break below their card right here, which is on top. There's 2 ways you can do this. You just come over with the other hand, push up on the card like that, and get a pinky break, or you push over, pull back with your thumb, and then you got a little break just like that. Either way, it makes it a lot easier to do this next move with a pinky break below their card. So your spectator is going to turn over these 2 cards. You're going to tell them, okay, you chose 2 random helper cards for me, the 9 of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts. As you say that, you're placing the 2 cards face up directly on top of the break. So now you have a break below 3 cards. You're going to lift up all the 3 cards like this. You tell them, okay, once again, we have the Queen of Hearts and the 9 of Hearts. Now, after you lift up the second card, their selection is going to be right on the back of it. So you have these 2 cards back to back. Keep them, kind of tilted down like this so your spectator does not see their selection, which is on the back of this one. You're going to place these 2 cards right on top. Your spectator really thinks you're just placing the 2 face-up cards right on top of the deck. You tell them all I have to do is snap my fingers, shake the deck, do whatever you want to. You spread out the top 3 cards, and their selection will be face down in between the 2 face-up helper cards, and it's just a really quick and amazing trick that is definitely going to fool your spectators. So guys, now let's get into the third card trick. Okay, so we can start this one off with a shuffled deck. Now, I would have my spectator choose a card. Let's say their selection in this case is the Ace of Hearts. So I would tell them the first thing we're going to do is try and get their card to disappear in the middle of the deck. All I have to do is push up on the ace, wave it away like that, and you will see the Ace of Hearts it disappears somewhere into the middle of the pack. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take out a random card to help us find our ace. So in this case, we got the 7 of hearts. Now, what I'm going to do here is lift up on the 7. I'm just going to slide it over. I'm going to push up on the 7 with this face down card, and boom, you'll notice the Ace of Hearts reappears right back here on top of the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the ace, and I'm just going to place it in the middle of the pack here. I'm going to snap my fingers one more time, and boom, that Ace of Hearts reappears right back on top of the deck. So guys, that's the trick. Let's learn it. Okay, so this trick is going to be the most difficult to perform out of the 3 I showed you today. It's very doable though, and just may require a little bit of practice, but I definitely recommend you give it a try. So you're going to begin with your spectator giving the deck a shuffle. Then you're going to have them choose a card. You're going to take the card that they choose and put it face up here on top of the deck. You're going to tell them, okay, we're going to try and make your card, the 2 of spades, disappear. Now, as you're saying that, you're going to pull down on the bottommost card with your pinky, come over with your other hand, and transfer that to a thumb break. So now you have a thumb break below the bottommost card. You're going to swing cut about a quarter of the deck here into your other hand. So a quarter of the cards from the top of the deck here into your other hand like this. And now you're going to be performing this move to make it seem like their selection disappears. You're going to be pushing up on their selection with the rest of the deck. And once everything is square, you're going to be dropping that card. You have a break below right on top. And then you can just kind of brush away the card like that to make it seem like it magically vanishes. At this point, you can do one of 2 moves to get these cards to the top of the deck. You can do a turnover pass or a double undercut. So the turnover pass is a little bit more complicated to do. This is what I did in the performance. You're going to place these cards directly on top, maintaining a break, and then the turnover pass, the exposed view, looks something like this. You're going to be flipping these cards directly on top as you turn the deck face up. So it seems like you're just turning the cards over, but in reality, you have got these 2 cards, the random card and their selection, which is face up on top of the deck. If you know how to do it, you guys should probably do that move, but if you don't, I recommend you do the double undercut. It's a lot easier to do for this trick. It looks something like this. So you're doing your move, you make the card vanish by doing that move like that, and then you place these cards on, you got your break, you just do a double undercut to get these cards right to the top. Make sure you don't flash the card. Tell your spectator you're just losing their selection in the middle of the deck. Now, you can do one of those 2 moves, practice the turnover pass if you know it and you're familiar with it, but if you don't, you can just do the double undercut. From here, you tell your spectator, okay, I'm going to take out a random face down card to help find your selection. Take out any card. Be careful not to flash their card, which is, face up in the second position from the top. You place this face up card right on top of the deck. Now, what you need to do here is lift up the top 3 cards in the deck. What you have is that random card, a face down card, and then their selection. You need to lift up these 3 cards all as one. So you can kind of come over with your other hand, count off the cards with your thumb. You just lift them up. From here, you're going to tell your spectator, okay, I'm going to slide this card over, the 10 of spades. At this point, you have these 2 cards back to back, with that random card and their selection. Now you're going to do this color change move. It's pretty simple. It looks really cool. So once again, you lift up all 3 cards, slide over the helper card. You're pushing up these on there's that random card with these 2. You pull back this random one, and it makes it visually seem like that 10 of spades changed into their card. This, you're just going to place a random card in the middle of the deck. Don't make mention of it. Just place it right there in the middle. From here, this is how you're set up. You can do a double lift. Tell them, okay, we're going to turn your card over. You're turning over the 2 cards as one and place it in the middle. You're really placing that 10 in the middle. Your spectator thinks it's the 2. You push it in, snap your fingers, and it comes to the top. And then you can get into like an ambitious card routine at this point if you want to, or you can end the trick like that. It's really cool. May require a little bit of practice, but once you get it down, it will fool everyone. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace out.